Hi, so John here at Field of Fitness in Guildford, and today we're going to go through 4 really good sort of flexibility or mobility exercises that are specific towards your golf. So again, remember, quality over quantity. We don't want to rush through these exercises. We need to take them slowly. You need to build them up in a nice static way and then start to integrate it as you get more confident with the movement. So exercise number 1 is what we call an open book. Really good drill for opening out your upper back or getting some good mobility through your T-spine. So we start on our sides, we lay ourselves down, we have the top leg bent at 90 degrees, and then we're going to straighten the bottom leg. From there, you place one hand on top of the other, let yourself be nice and neutral, so the neck needs to be nice and square. You draw in, you reach your left hand, and we're going to open that left hand all the way out, down to the side. We're going to follow with our head, and then back into that neutral position. What's really important when doing this exercise is you get that additional reach forward, so the scapula gets loaded. From there, you open up, you draw the shoulder blade down and back, follow it all the way, and then come back to that neutral position. What we're looking to do is keep a nice solid base here. What you can do is place a foam roller or something underneath your leg to enable that to stay nice and still. What you don't want to do is allow this leg to rotate with you. So really important that this stays nice and stable, shoulders nice and relaxed. You reach the hand forward, you open up, go all the way down to the floor, follow it. A nice good stretch there if you want to hold that position, and then you come back in. You can go to a slightly progressed version of that, where you go into that reach and then you bring your hand over the top and go all the way around. So you've got a couple of options. You've either got the straightforward reach and open, or again slightly more dynamic by coming over the top of the head. So again, what I'd suggest we do on that is we may spend 30-40 seconds on each side, but again, just try and remember you want to focus on the tighter areas. So don't just go through it as a generic stretch. If you feel tighter on one side, make sure you stretch slightly longer on that one side. If you're really loose on the other side, then don't do the same as what you would on the tight. You want to create or reduce that imbalance to make sure, again, you've got good range of movement and good kind of stability throughout the trunk, rather than loading up or loosening what's already loose and tightening what's a little bit tight. Okay, let's move on to number 2, which is our lower body rotation. So again, we're going to start by laying on your back, shoulders nice and relaxed, hands out to the side, feet together. We're going to drop the knees to one side, and again try and maintain this shoulder so the opposite shoulder stays on the floor. What you don't want to do is drop and allow that to rotate into this position. We must keep our shoulder blades down and back, feet together, abs nice and tight, and just allow yourself to drop to one side. From there you come back up to neutral, take a nice deep breath in, breathe out, let it gently drop to the other side. So again, same principle. If you're slightly tighter on one side, then do more repetitions on the one side, or hold longer on that one side that's tighter. The progression from that is to bring the legs to 90 degrees, shoulder blades down and back again, and you'll do the same principle. You will find this is much harder load through the lower back, through the upper body. So again, start with the basic, and then once you've got that basic principle correct, you're happy with the movement, then you can progress it into a much more dynamic way. The next progression from that will be bringing one leg into the air and allowing this leg to drop across, holding that position. We're trying to get the toe of the foot to the other side without allowing that shoulder blade to come up. So again, phase 1 is this way, nice and controlled. Phase 2 might be that way. And then phase 3, to be a bit more isolated, get right over onto that side, bringing the leg up and dropping it right the way down to one side. If you look over your opposite shoulder, you'll get a bit more bang for your buck by getting a bit more stretch through that right hip. So again, same principle. I suggest we focus maybe on 30-40 seconds on each side, and again, stretch what is tight. Don't just go through the motions. Exercise number 3 is to thread the needle. So again, a bit more about that kind of thoracic rotation that we're looking for. Shoulder blades should be nice and relaxed. We want a 4-point position, so our triceps should start parallel with our thighs. From that position, we're going to reach the hand underneath. We're going to try and get round the corner. So we try and thread the needle round and then go into that open out position. What's really important is we don't just collapse. We need to give ourselves a nice, good, solid base. Get into that rotation, get as round as much as you can, and follow it. And again, go nice and slowly. Control, reach the hand round as far as we can go. And then follow again, open up. Same principle arises, you will find your tighter on one side. So it's really important to do a few more on that one tighter side. Again, you can go into this position where you bring your hand next to your temple, you drop your elbow down towards your thumb, and again go into that rotation drill again. It's a little more challenging with the elbow, so slightly less levers, but again, make sure everything stays nice and neutral, and don't just rush through it and go through it at pace. It needs to be nice and smooth. Get your breathing in place first. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and then breathing out. From that final position, again, 30 seconds on each side, focus on the tighter spot. And then the last one's a bit more dynamic. Solid base with your feet. It's got a squat and reach. We're going to drop our hands onto our ankles. From that position, we force the chest up as high as we can. We don't want to be in this slouch position. So the last thing we want to do is be here. We've got to get into that thoracic extension, so chest is nice and high, and we're not loading up through the upper or lower back. So from here, good solid base with the feet, hands onto the ankles, chest nice and high. Very gently, we're going to bring one hand up, we're going to rotate, we're going to follow it all the way over the head, bring it down to the neutral position again, shoulders nice and relaxed, open up with the right side, and bring it back down again. If you find you can't get to that depth, because again, just tight hips, tight lower back, you can just start here. So that might be your starting point, but the goal is eventually to get our fingertips underneath our toes. Chest really high. Go into that rotation, bring it down. Back into that rotation, and bring it down. But again, keep that chest really high. Don't allow yourself to relax. So from a side angle, chest up to start with, fingertips either under our toes, ankles, or it could be shins, depending on your mobility. From there, rotate, bring it down, rotate, bring it down. So again, I suggest, again, maybe 5 or 6 reps on each side, focusing on your tighter areas, or again, find out what's right for you, and work through that range of motion. Hope it helps, and we'll see you next time.